I want to play a cut from last night's Tucker Carlson show, which, by the way, pray for Tucker Carlson. Pray for him. Pray for his staff. He is one of the bravest people on television. I think he is, quite honestly, I know I'm going to leave somebody out on this, so I apologize in advance, but I think he's the only one on cable television actually telling the whole truth, the truth that you need to hear. He's doing a fantastic job. Tucker and I are not, I think we're friends now, but we were never, close or anything else. And I think there was a time when Tucker didn't like me, but
that's most people. I went through that time with you. There's the defense.
So anyway, and I'm not saying this because I have anything to gain with Tucker. I just really respect the job he's doing right now. And I know what it is like to be in the position that he's in right now. It is a dangerous world that he is living in. There are booby traps all around him. So please pray for him and all others that are speaking the truth, because it's going to get a lot more difficult should the president lose next week, which I am not willing to accept, but God's will be done. All right. Let me play what he said yesterday on television, because it was pretty shocking.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something specific going on behind the scenes right now that we did feel we should tell you about. So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe those documents are authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles preparing to interview Tony Bobolinsky about the Biden's business dealings in China, Ukraine, and other countries. So we texted a producer in New York and we asked him to send those documents to us in LA, and he did that. So Monday afternoon of this week, he shipped those documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand name company that we've used, you've used countless times with never a single problem. But the Biden documents never arrived in Los Angeles. Tuesday morning, we received word from the shipping company that our package had been opened and the contents were missing. The documents had disappeared. Now, to its credit, the company took this very seriously and immediately began a search. They traced the envelope from the moment our producers dropped it off in Manhattan on Monday all the way to 3:44 a.m. yesterday morning. That's when an employee at a sorting facility in another state noticed that our package was open and empty. Apparently, it had been opened. So the company's security team interviewed every one of its employees who touched the envelope we sent. They searched the plane and the trucks that carried it. They went through the office in New York where our producer dropped that package off. They combed the entire cavernous sorting facility. They used pictures of what we had sent so that searchers would know what to look for. They went far and beyond, but they found nothing. Those documents have vanished. As of tonight, the company has no idea and no working theory even about what happened to this trove of materials, documents that are directly relevant to the presidential campaign just 6 days from now. We spoke to executives at that company a few hours ago. They seemed baffled and deeply bothered by this, and so are we.
So I said to my wife last night, I said, "Did you see this?" And she said what I think many Americans will think, and that is, they didn't make a copy. Why didn't they make a copy? Come on, wait a minute. You think that somebody was, how did somebody even know what was in there? So let me give you the conversation that I had with my wife last night. And that is this. We have sent her wedding ring, a diamond ring, through Federal Express. We have sent things of great value. I just bought some silver a month ago, and it was shipped UPS. I've had packages not arrive, get lost or late, but it's always arrived. And I've never had anything opened on the way. Have you? Never. Never. So, as he said, it was opened. It was in one of their facilities, and it was opened. Now, what did he have? A big Tucker Carlson sticker on it? Hey, top secret documents that might hurt Biden. Don't open this. No. Somebody had to know that package was on its way. The first thing I said to my wife last night, do you not recall the night that you said to me, dear God, we're living like a Jason Bourne movie when we were at Fox? Said, do you remember what that was like? Do you remember? Do you remember how many times we had our offices swept for bugs? And not just because we thought somebody from the left was doing it. Yes, they were going through our garbage. But not just because we worried about, Soros kind of people, but because we also had credible reason to suspect that there would be someone that would want the information that we were going to go through and have it before we broadcast from the right. Well, why didn't they make a copy? How many people, honey, do you trust? Do you trust? My wife is not a conspiracy. She doesn't, honestly, she's not impressed with politics, politicians, celebrities, money, fame, none of it. I am the luckiest man in the world, because if she were, I'd be out of control. But she is not impressed with any of it. She doesn't like most of it. She is always the first to me to say, wait a minute, wait, you think what's going to happen? She's a great check on me. She's my soulmate. She's my other half. We don't have people over at our house anymore. Anyone over to our house anymore. We have probably maybe 4 people that we know that we trust that she will say they can come over. And we have many, everyone I've worked with, Stu, Sarah, it's not that she doesn't like people or doesn't trust individuals. She just no longer trusts people. And it's the worst thing that has happened to my wife because of what I do. It's the worst thing. And I try to say to her, honey, you got to separate. And we've just been burned too many times, and she just doesn't want it around the family and in the house. So if you are working exposing something as dynamic as this Hunter Biden story, this is the most, if the press knows it, or they would allow it to they would follow up on it. They would at least ask Biden, is that his laptop? Are these real? They won't even ask it. They know how damaging this is if they even recognize it. A good friend of mine who was there at one of my Jason Bourne moments, and actually was, one of the guys that I've always thought was the sanest, calmest man I've ever met, encouraged me to do some things to take precautions. And I went, are you kidding me? And this is a guy who had been around Washington and been around the media a lot and was not a paranoid guy at all. I was shocked when he said this to me. And he said, after he suggested what he did, he said, "Do you think the movies are all fiction? This stuff is real. It happens. What do you think Watergate was all about?" We are so quick to accept things like aliens are flying around our world right now. We're so quick to 13% of the American public now believe that we didn't go to the moon. That's insanity. And yet when we know politics and billions of dollars are at stake, we refuse to believe that there might be somebody that is monitoring. He text messaged someone in his office. He text messaged, hello? That's on the servers. That's open. From somebody inside the building or outside the building. How many people would you trust with documents standing there at the Xerox machine, copying them? Honestly, if it were me and I didn't trust the people that I work with, thank God I do, but I didn't know who would see it or where they would be in the building, I would honestly say, take this envelope and just put it into another envelope and send it to me. We're entering a different world, and you're not going to recognize this world. Our FBI is compromised. Our government is compromised. And until somebody cleans it up, it's going to remain so. And they're going to call you a conspiracy theorist and everything else. Well, they're out in the open saying the kinds of things that they will do. They're out in the open. We're dealing with people now that will do whatever it takes. Pray for people like Tucker Carlson.